This production version will go to the production order, and this production version will go into the cost estimate. And with the transaction CK40N, we'll be doing a cost estimate and we'll be releasing it, or we can do the cost estimate with CK11 and we can release the price with CK24. This price, when we'll be releasing it, it will go into your material master. It will update in the material master. Okay, when it will update in the material master, it will also update your inventory value. Now, the people who have lost the track because it's a big linkage, but if you know that linkage, that would be helping you a lot as a FICO consultant to tell that what master data. And this is a very common question. If somebody asking a question from the controlling background, he would be asking a question that which master data in the PP side would be influencing your product cost estimate. So this transaction CK40N, CK11N, CK24, these all are our FICO transactions. But I would be asking the PP guy to run this transaction so that we can complete the end-to-end cycle. But these transactions are actually FICO transaction, FICO transactions. But you cannot run this transaction without having a PP data, without having a PP master data. Right? So now I'm going to people who have lost the track. I will do the backtrack. Okay, just stay with me with the backtrack and we'll try to see that how the backtrack happens. So what I'm interested to do, I'm interested to identify my price in the material master. I'm producing a product. For that, I want to make sure the price is updated in the material master. For that, I need to do a transaction called CK24. So, but before we release the price, we need to calculate the price. How the price calculation will happen? Price calculation will happen with the CK11N. That's a cost estimate. Cost estimate would be happening with CK11N. To do the cost estimate, first thing we need to know the product which we are doing a cost estimate. What is the production version for which we need to do the cost estimate? Okay, which production version? Which combination of BOM and routing? Once I know the production version, from the production version, I would be knowing my BOM, which bill of materials need to be used, which routing need to be used. Once I know my routing, okay, I will explain the down part below. Once I know my routing, I would be able to know which machines we are going to use it. And these machines are linked with which cost centers. I would also be able to know that what activities we need to use, machine, labor, setup. And then from my KP26, from the activity rates, I would be able to know that for that particular cost center, what is the charges of the activity rates. What is the charges? I would be able to know from KP26, from the activity rates, and how much of the actual, how much of the planned machine hours are required, that I would be getting from my routing data. In the operations, it would be defined how much of the machine time, how much of the labor time is required. That routing data as number of hours will multiply by the activity rate to give me the activity cost. So from here, I would be knowing for each of the machine used, each of the activity, what would be the cost. So altogether from here, I would be able to come to know my machine cost. Okay, plus labor cost also. Because labor is also kind of an activity, we are defining it. Then remains the material cost. Material cost, bill of material would be exploded, and from there we'll be able to identify the raw materials, what are the bottom raw materials are required. And from the bottom raw materials, we'll be able to identify the price from the material master, whether it's a standard price or moving average price. From there, the price would be calculated, and then I would be able to know my material cost from here. Your CK11 transaction will run. It will calculate all the material cost. It will calculate all the routing cost. Then it will apply the overheads maintained in your costing sheet. Costing sheet would be having overheads. That would be applied. And then you will come to know what is the cost estimate for that material. And then it would be updated in the material master once you release that cost with the transaction CK24. This is how all the linkage is there. I try to simplify it from my side. The topic itself is complicated, right? But with that mind map, I have tried to simplify it so that you can able to understand ki bhaiya, what are the linkages?